This is Sohi. She is considered a blue font. I do not see the blue on her, but she is considered a blue font. I have been breeding Chihuahuas for about 5 years now, and I thought it would be interesting to record them giving birth so I can educate people on what to do and what not to do. This is her first litter. At the moment, she is having contraction. It is normal for a dog to do that. When a dog or a Chihuahua gives birth, you want to provide them a nice space to give birth. In the past, I would lay out towels and blankets for them, but this time I decided to try out cottons. In this video, I will show you what to look for when your female Chihuahua or your dog, your female dog, is having a hard time giving birth. As a pet owner or a breeder, I think it is very important for you to keep a close eye on your pregnant female, especially when it's their first time giving birth, because their life and the puppy's life depends on your decision. From the time your Chihuahua or female goes into labor to about an hour of her pushing, you want to check to see if anything is coming out. Most Chihuahuas would scratch the blanket or towel or whatever you give them. It's very normal for them to do that. In most cases, it helps them. At the moment, she is having contraction. Always have a watch or some kind of timer with you to keep track of how long your female had been in labor. Right there, you can see that she is pushing. If your female is pushing for about an hour or so, there should be some kind of liquid or gooey things coming out of her vajayjay. Again, you can see that she is pushing right there. Again, she is pushing. She had been pushing several times, but I had to cut that out because it's getting too long. She is having contraction. There she goes again, pushing. So he went into labor at 8:21 p.m. Understand the body language and the movement of your female or any of your dogs, whether they are in labor or not. In a way, you can kind of tell how they feel at the moment by the way they act or the way they look at you, or the kind of things that they do around you or towards you or to you. At any time, if you see any green, gooey or liquidy things coming out of her vajayjay, I highly recommend you take your female to the vet as soon as possible, because something is wrong inside of her, and the longer you wait, the higher chances of your puppies dying inside of your female. In the video, at this point, it was 9:36 p.m. Sometimes it takes longer than 1 hour for a female to give birth to her first puppy. But within that hour of pushing, if nothing comes out, you need to decide whether you should give her another 30 minutes or another hour to push. Now, if your vet tells you that it is okay and that you should take it home and give her more time, like another 3 to 5 hours to push, tell your vet how long the dog had been in labor for, and if she had been in labor for more than 5 to 6 hours, then I highly recommend you tell your vet to do a C-section on your Chihuahua, because I had a bad experience with one of my female Chihuahua and pushing really hard that time. During her labor, I checked on her vajayjay every 15 to 20 minutes of her pushing in between to see if anything is coming out. Some females will not allow you to do that, to check their vajayjay. Now, if you do end up checking their vajayjay and they end up attacking you or growling at you, then that's a good thing, because something is coming out of her and she's being protective of that puppy. At this point, I can tell that she is really tired and really exhausted from pushing. After watching her sit there for about 4 minutes not doing anything, I decided to call my vet and take her for a C-section. It was about 10 p.m. at that time. It took me another hour to get to my vet. So he was in labor for about 3 hours with nothing coming out of her. You do not want your female to be in labor for more than 4 hours without anything coming out of her vajayjay. About 1 hour later, she had 4 fat, healthy female puppies. Beautiful faces and beautiful colors on those puppies. The first puppy that the vet took out is Cream. The second puppy is a silver female with 10 markings on both sides of her jaw. I'm actually waiting to see if she will have those dots on her eyes or not, above her eyes or not. The third female is white with blue markings. The biggest puppies were the silver, blue, and the white and blue markings. I'm estimating them to be 5 to 6 pounds full grown, which is perfect for breeding. So I decided to keep those two puppies. The smallest one is the Cream pup that came out last. One of my female Chihuahua gave birth to 2 puppies, and then she was having a hard time giving birth to the next puppy. So I took her to the vet, and the vet told me to take her home, my female home, and give her another 3 to 5 hours. And when I did that, my female Chihuahua and all 5 of her pup died on me, and there was nothing I can do. Sometimes the vet know what they're talking about, but other times they don't know what they're talking about. So I highly recommend you to tell your vet to do a C-section on your female Chihuahua if she had been in labor for 5 to 6 hours and she gave birth to 2 puppies or 3 puppies, and if there's still more puppy inside of her, then go ahead with the C-section, because you don't want to risk the chance of the mom dying and all the babies dying.